Welcome, everyone, to episode 41 of Geeks of the Roundtable. It's a packed show today, and of course, I couldn't be alone. I got my friend Zach Pope here with me. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing good, man. I'm fucking tired because YouTube's a piece of shit. But, I'm here.
It is indeed. Now, I supposedly have my review up for The Mandalorian. Zach has his as well. Zach got his one figured out, thankfully, but Disney just decided to block mine because of stuff that doesn't make sense. But let's get going with the show. We got a packed show, as I said today, guys. So make sure to like this one. Make sure to chime in whenever we go into the announcements of last week's Disney's Investor Day. It's going to be a packed show. But before we get to that one, we got two quick topics that we need to mention. First is the Mortal Kombat movie that finally came out with news. And Zach, they announced that they are doing the stupid fucking release of HBO Max and theaters in the same day. So piracy is going to rise. Everyone knows that. For April 16th, which is interesting, to say the least. How are you feeling about this date? Why do you think they changed it from January?
Because there's zero marketing. I think that's the biggest thing. But also because I think I still don't believe everything will go to HBO Max. I still believe they're gonna have to reverse part of this at least.
I hope you're right.
Especially Dune and Godzilla. I mean, how do you decide that for films that you only finance 25% of? Like, I don't know. I'm still baffled by the whole entire deal. I'm not a fan of this at all. I've already said it. Like Mortal Kombat, that's a film that again, I can go see it in theaters, but I'd rather see it in theaters. I don't want to watch it online, and it's just annoying, Ren. It's just fucking annoying. I'm so tired of this.
It is. The one thing I say is that I thankfully will most likely be able to see it in a theater, but it still sucks that this whole deal exists. It sucks that piracy is going to 1,000,000% rise due to this decision, and it sucks that a lot of you guys over there in the States will not get that chance because there's a lot of cities with no theaters open. But do you think like April is a good date, like right before the summer?
I think it's an okay date. I honestly think January was the better date, personally. But I wonder if they looked and they're like, the film's pretty much done. Why push it even longer? But again, I don't know, because next year's crazy, because almost every single week, starting in February, there's something to, well, as of right now, I fully expect a lot of stuff still to kind of get shuffled and moved and end up going to certain streaming platforms. Like I've told you, I don't believe A Quiet Place 2 goes in the theaters. There's no way.
Yeah.
Which I that sucks, but I really, really don't think A Quiet Place 2 goes in the theaters. I think Netflix buys it. I also think whatever it's called, Top Gun, I think has the possibility of going to a Netflix, which would I think we'd still see it go into theaters, but obviously it wouldn't be as big.
All right, I'm going to knight this only because I'm not super about the date like you. It's okay, but I do think it's better than January. And like you brought up, they haven't done any marketing yet. But since this is alongside being a theater release, it is also a streaming release. So they got to do a shorter marketing campaign because like whenever you see a Netflix movie, the trailer comes out like a month before, less than a month before. So they don't need a big marketing window. But I do think April helps them. So I'm going to knight this slightly.
We get the trailer next month. We have to.
You think so?
Yeah, we're gonna get the trailer next month.
Okay.
I think dude, expect January, February, March to just be fucking stacked.
March is gonna be awesome, Zach.
Hopefully, man.
It's the best month. It's gonna be awesome. All right.
I dig it. I dig it.
Moving on to our second topic, the thing that, well, last week it was the Disney Investors Day, and it's still looming wide and large on the internet. But this week there was something else that exploded the internet, Zach. That was that Tom Cruise.
You mean Les Grossman?
Yes, Les Grossman, aka Tom Cruise. he got not got caught, but there was obviously someone wasn't meant to be audio recording that, but someone audio recorded Tom Cruise just eviscerating a member of the crew of Mission Impossible 7 for breaking COVID protocol. And I gotta tell you, Zach, I am so in love with Tom Cruise right now. Not that I ever wasn't, but I am in love with this man. It's got to be like that, because I've been discussing this with not only people on Twitter, but also people who did the same masters as me. So they also are in the filmmaking business.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm sure on that other guy's behalf, I'm sure I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and believe it was a mistake due to the stress, because working these movies, it's not easy.
Do we know what he did though?
No, but he either didn't sanitize his hand, didn't get the test as he went in, wasn't wearing a mask.
This is what I think it was, because from what do you remember when it was announced that Tom Cruise bought them out of his own wallet, paid for their housing?
That's true.
I wonder if he left, because these people are supposed to stay and not leave, not do anything. They're supposed to stay in that bubble and not do anything. And that's the way that I think. And I want to look and think, I gotta imagine, he probably did it multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I think they've already been shut down once, right?
I think they shut down like right at the beginning, but they got back to it a few like a month later or something, because they were pretty quick. They were like the first movie to get back into it, I think.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I'm in love with Tom Cruise, and it's got to be this way. Like, again, in benefit of the doubt to that guy, whoever he is, working these movies is stressful. It's tiring. I'm sure he made a mistake that he didn't mean to, maybe. But the way Tom Cruise dealt with it, number one, people are whether they're on his side or not, they are focusing on the fact that he's yelling and eviscerating this guy. He's giving him another chance.
Yeah.
He's saying, do this one more time and you're gone. And he mentions you're going to cost, he was surely pointing at someone, you're going to cost someone else their job. We're doing this to save the industry. We're creating jobs. People are losing their homes. They're losing food on their table. They're losing college education.
Yep.
We are working our asses off. And I got to tell you, man, I'm on his side. I'm completely on his side. Now, I also saw a lot of people saying, oh, blah, blah, Tom Cruise, who's the guy from Scientology, and he's doing this, and people are on his side. He got out of Scientology. How do people? He got out a few years ago.
Did he? I thought he was still in it.
I believe I read, unless he went back in, that could also be the case. But I do believe he got out a few years ago because of his daughter. Again, might be mistaken, but that's what I read. And again, unless he went back in, that's my perception of it. How did you feel about this, Zach?
So I love Tom Cruise. I was happy what he did, but I also understand. I get it. Like we don't know the full context, so we don't know. Was this his first outburst? Was this his second, third time telling the same exact person, like, stop messing around? And that's the thing that it's hard for me to judge on. So, like, should Tom Cruise have yelled that loud? I would probably say no. But at the same time, I also get why he yelled so loud, because it is a serious manner. So it's difficult to really tell you yes, no, maybe so, because, like, we don't know the full context, but it was pretty entertaining to hear Tom Cruise yell at someone.
For sure. And are you knighting this, Zach?
I'm going to hesitantly knight it.
You're going to hesitantly knight it. All right. I'm going to knight it because I think it's the right thing to do to see if people get it in their heads. So I think it was the right decision. Update, everyone. YouTube blocked my second version of my review of Mando. So
seriously?
Yeah. Fuck them.
Seriously?
I'm going to quit on this while we do the show. But just wanted to update you all. That's why the review isn't up. All right, let's go to our main topic, everyone, and chime in with each and every announcement we talk about when it comes to to the Disney Investors Day announcements. We're going to go through a lot of stuff. Jorge LCC 500 here, SPC Bird, G Colby P, Dominician Scott, Jack Alexander, Real James is here. Thank you everyone for being here. We're not going to talk about, we're probably going to talk about Mando, but we're not going to spoil anything about it. We're going to keep it spoiler free over here.
Nah,
There's spoilers.
Let's spoil it. Let's spoil
that's
it.
unfair. That's unfair.
What's unfair?
There's spoilers in the reviews.
Why are you watching the show before?
This is not about Mando, Zach. All right, let's go into the last topic before we get, hopefully, to your live questions.
Did you mention the Ask Me Anything portion? What we discussed on that?
Yes, we're going to go through a lot of this of these announcements. So we don't know if we're going to get to your live questions in time today, or if we're going to have a lot of time for that. Just in case we don't, start to chime in on each topic we talk about, and we'll bring your comments up before we move on to the next one. And let's start with our friends at Lucasfilm, Zach. We're going to consult our friends at Vulture. The first one we already knew about, but they shared a sizzle. That is Andor, the Cassian Andor show. It's meant to be a spy thriller before the events of Rogue One, of course, with Diego Luna coming back as Cassian Andor. It's directed by Tony Gilroy, who did the Bourne movies. How are you feeling about this one? And did like the sizzle or trailer or whatever leave you more excited than you were before?
I'm optimistic about this one. I'm not that big on Rogue One like a lot of other people are. I enjoy it, but I'm excited to see Cassian. Where the hell is K2SO? I thought he was announced for the show as well. My one thing with it is I need to still hear what the story is. I think that's my big portion. What's the fucking story? We got nothing for it yet. It seems exciting, but also they said it's what, like 10 episodes? And
yeah,
that's 10 or was it 10 or 12? It was,
I think it was 10. I think it was 10.
It's like Obi-Wan 6, Mando's 8.
Yeah.
There was, I'm assuming the Ahsoka one will be 8. It's kind of just weird, like that this is the 10 one, but again, it is a mini series, so like this is it. So I'm interested. And I see someone in the chat said, will Andor flop? No. It's got this is content. Yeah, it's Star Wars content. And I think Andor is gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm like waiting. I'm waiting for more.
All right. Let's go on to not the announcement. I mean, it is an announcement, but Kenobi, they talked about Kenobi a little bit, and they confirmed that Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader, and the language used by Kathleen Kennedy was, this will be the rematch of the century. So, safe to presume that we're going to see a Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader fight yet again. Are you excited for this, Zach?
Yes. There's that one little line in A New Hope that you're like, they've met each other after Revenge of the Sith. And I like when they play with that. In Rogue One, one of the things I did like about Rogue One was playing with why the hell is there one little loophole to blow up the Death Star? Kenobi, they're playing around with that one tiny little line. And I like that when they're doing that. And, 6 episodes, 10 years after the dramatic events. I mean, dude, Hayden Christensen's coming back. Deborah Chow's directing.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks, I'm going to bet he'll come back. I bet money he comes back. I bet money. I'll bet you $100.
No. Good comment here by GKVP. Hopefully there's going to be sand. I agree. I hope.
Well, something's already come out for it. How they showed something, but they didn't let us watch it? That shit came out. It will take some of it will be on Tatooine, from what we know. So
I hope a lot of it is on Tatooine. Look, I cannot wait for the ObiWan Kenobi show. It's probably my most anticipated out of the shows they announced.
Yep.
But even for Darth Vader coming in there, of course I'm excited to see Vader. He's my favorite character. He's the greatest villain of all time. But I think it's gonna depend on how they use him, man. But I'm very afraid because unlike you you read that line in A New Hope and you think it's an indication of, oh, they've met between Mustafar and New Hope. To me, is no, the last time they met was on Mustafar. It was never, they never met each other in
Really?
between.
I think it is. It was in between.
But it's interpretation. Austin Bird says you can't have this show without having Qui-Gon in some way, shape, or form. I think you can, but I don't count on Qui-Gon not being there. I think we will absolutely see Qui-Gon.
Liam loves the role, so.
And he already showed up for Star Wars Celebration. He voiced himself in Clone Wars, so cannot wait for this. I think so too. All right, and then one of the biggest.
Once we go through these all, I want to talk about which show was our most excited. Like which one we're the most excited for.
Okay. Then we had an announcement for a feature film, and I like this, Zach. I need to bring this up right now, that whether they were talking about Pixar or Disney in general, or Star Wars or Marvel, they were very specific about mentioning what was going to Disney Plus and what was at least planned to go to theaters. And I love that this is going to theaters. Rogue Squadron has been announced, directed by Patty Jenkins. This one flew in excitement up for me as soon as she was announced. How are you feeling about this one?
Love it. I'm a big fan of those original games, so
it's not based on the games though.
No, I know, but like I love the game. So like, and Patty Jenkins said that she's taking elements from those and infusing her own story into it. So I'm more curious to see who she casts, what she does. I got a gut feeling Brie Larson will be one of the pilots.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I got a feeling because she loves it so much. I think Patty Jenkins just is a great director for this. She's always goes ambitious. You and me have both seen the new Wonder Woman, and in that film, it's very ambitious and daunting. And I think Patty is a unique director, and I'm really excited to see what she does with Rogue Squadron. Now, do we know what time this takes place in, though?
No, they did not mention it. They did not mention it at all. I gotta think that it is going to take place around New Hope, I think.
I want to be the different one and say the sequel trilogy.
Okay.
Like right before Force Awakens. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if they double down on the High Republic stuff.
True.
So,
this is one of those projects that if they had just announced like Rogue Squadron, Star Wars, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Same.
But as soon as they announced Patty Jenkins, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. Like one because of Patty. Same as me, man. Same as me.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the last Star Wars film going to theater? No.
They announced Taika's.
Yeah, they did. But I know why you were asking this question. Whatever happens to theaters due to everything that is going on, Star Wars and the blockbusters, I think, will be safe. I believe deep to my core that the blockbusters will be safe and they will be the event films of generations going forward. There isn't like a preview, but it was also revealed that Russian Doll creator Leslie Headland, she is doing a series called The Acolyte, a mystery thriller about the emerging dark side set in the High Republic era, which means set in Coruscant, which means we're following a Sith apprentice. Zach, right after Obi-Wan, this is my most anticipated show.
So, I'm super excited about this because I loved Russian Doll.
Haven't seen it.
It's really good. It's very clever, and it's one of those Groundhog Day type shows, but with a twist. And that twist, once you hit that twist, I think in episode 3 or 4, you're like, oh, this is cool. The Acolyte. I am interested in this.
All right.
I need to see the actual story, though.
Okay.
I again, anything that I don't know much about the characters or I didn't really get much story, it's hard for me to get super excited about it. I'm excited that it takes place during the High Republic, but again, is this a one-off? Is this an actual show where we're going to get season after season? What is the story? Who are we following? Is it going to tie into the books at all? Is it not? That's the stuff I need to know. And I know it's probably very early on in development. I don't think we see the Acolyte till at least 2023. Maybe 2024. But I would imagine, because the last time they did a big thing like this for Disney, it was 3 years. 3 years was pretty much the plan. So I imagine we see all of these within the next 3 years.
All right. We also got a trailer for Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Which
and Fennec's in it.
Yeah, and Fennec's in it. This trailer was somewhat what I expected when they announced the Bad Batch show,
Yep.
But exciting, not exciting, interesting to see how they go around this era of the emerging empire. Nothing that I'm super excited about, but I'll for sure watch it.
I'm more excited again where you said it takes place after the Clone Wars. That's what I'm excited about. I'm very excited to see that aspect. I'm excited to see how it all ties in. Mm-hmm. Again, is it a series? Is it a one-off? Is it a mini season? Are we going to get more? I like the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to imagine we get more than one season, though.
Yeah, maybe 2, but it's got a lifespan. That's for sure. It's got a short lifespan. We got two shows that we don't know a lot about. We got a show called Star Wars Visions, which is going to be a short series of shorts with anime creators. So it's going to be anime Star Wars. Mm-hmm. The way they described this show, I was excited for the anime aspect, but it can't be a long running thing. It's not going to be a big story. So I'm interested for the visuals alone. And then they announced a droid story, which is that's fun. Yeah, but nothing that I get super excited about.
Yeah.
An interesting thing, not because they announced this, but because of what they left out, was that Dear White People's Justin Simeon is making a Lando spin-off series. They never mentioned who is playing Lando. They never mentioned what era.
Live action.
Yes, they didn't say if it's live action. They didn't mention anything about the show. They just said this person is taking care of it, and it's about this character. Other than that, it's
all we got.
It's all we got, exactly.
How do you feel about that, though?
Again, it's one of those things. Yeah, sure, Lando spinoff. I'm curious about it. If it takes place around that Han Solo movie era, I'd be more interested in the Kira series with her working for Darth Maul. But both can exist. They can still do that one, even though they're doing the Lando one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into Disney Plus real quick. We got TV shows. We got an announcement of a Mighty Ducks reboot, which I thought was a movie until I was just reading this right now. Never seen the Mighty Ducks. Zach, how are you feeling about this?
Excited, optimistic. There was a lot of reboots. Hey, we forgot to talk about 2 shows, though.
We did?
Yeah, Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh, that's right. Why wasn't that here? Oh, because there was no preview. Yes, so the first shows actually that they announced. Thank you for calling me out on that.
You're welcome. I have another article up right now.
Okay. Do you want to bring it up?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Yeah. Bring that up, baby. Bring that up, baby. Here we go. So these were the first 2 shows they announced, and they are going to be happening concurrently with The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic, and of course, the Ahsoka show, just called Ahsoka. But I love the logo that they had for Ahsoka. Rangers of the New Republic, very clearly, we're going to be following the Dave Filoni guy, or at least his squadron, and Appa from Kim's Convenience,
and
which is a show everyone should watch, and Cardoon for sure.
What?
I was going to say something, but I can't.
Why?
because it involves spoilers for today's Mandalorian. I will say this before the finale, I would say, and maybe even this one character, but due to something that happens in the finale episode, I can't say who it is.
You can't say the character. Can you
No.
put it in the private chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Give us just a second, everyone.
I want to hear. I want to see.
I would have guessed this character would be in it too, but after what happens in the finale, I don't see it anymore. And maybe that character is still in this, but I just don't see it at this point.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing until the very, very, very last scene.
Exactly.
But it could still happen. It could still happen.
Exactly. I don't see it, but it's still possible. By the way, everyone, there's a post-credit scene in Mandalorian. So when you watch Mandalorian, stay.
It's funny. I didn't know that. So I filmed my whole thing, and then I'm like, and then I'm on Twitter, and everyone's like, stay. I'm like, oh.
Oh, shit. But yeah, between these two, I'm super excited for both actually. But of course, I'm more excited for the Ahsoka show because after the name drop in episode 5 of The Mandalorian, I gotta watch this because I gotta know who's coming in to play Thrawn. This one, I actually, if they are going to do the whole Ahsoka and Sabine are going after Ezra, I hope it is just one season, Zach. There
Look
it
at
is.
that looks like the time.
Yeah, it looks like the world between worlds.
So let me tell you this. I think the first season is going to be looking for Ezra, and then I think Thrawn will be the main.
Okay.
Yes, and then I think the rest of the show is them against Thrawn, and I think this show will tie directly into the sequel series.
Ooh, that is interesting.
Because how many years is it separated?
Between the original trilogy and the sequel?
Yeah.
It's like the real time division between the releases, I think.
40 or 30?
I think it's 30 or 30 something. Because Kylo supposedly is 30 and Rey is 25 when the Force Awakens starts.
Okay, and then how far is Mando right now? It's
Mando is 5 years after the original trilogy.
Even in this season?
Yeah, because there was no visual or audible indication of a time jump.
Oh, okay.
Austin Birch saying the background of Ahsoka's logo reminds me of Fallen Order where Cal meditates. That's
true.
I can see it. I can see it.
Look at that. So, but I can scroll down a little bit. Now we can go to the next stuff, which is the Willow series. Are you excited for that?
Never seen Willow.
Neither have I. Indiana Jones 5 officially announced 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
Children of Blood and Bone.
I know nothing about this, but it sounded interesting from what they were saying.
Rogue Squadron and National Geographic. All right, so here's the Disney Plus stuff now.
Yeah. So Disney Plus, they announced first the TV shows. Mighty Ducks series. I thought it was a movie. Do you like the Mighty Ducks? How are you feeling about this?
I dig it. I don't really care that much to watch it though. I also sent you the private chat as well, Ren. That way it's easier for you to read the link.
Yeah. Why did I? Okay. Let me copy this. Copy link to address.
That way maybe you can share your screen so it's easier.
You're gonna see the link transforming. Here we are. We are on Comic Book. I'll share mine. Boom. Here we go. Where? Okay, we got Hulu, Star, Handmaid's Tale, FX. Oh yeah, we should talk about this, Zach. A Shogun TV show and an Alien TV show were announced. I've always heard wonderful things about Shogun, but I've never seen it. But I'm definitely interested because it looks like feudal Japan, and certainly from what I've heard, it's got that Mandalorian vibe, or Mandalorian's got that Shogun vibe. How are you feeling about this one before we move on to like the big one?
Show me who's show running.
True. True.
and that's my thing. It's on FX, so I'm like, how brutal can it really be, type thing. But I'm excited. I'm more excited for the Alien show, and I'm not even that big of a fan of Alien.
Yeah, they announced an Alien show that is going to be helmed by Noah Hawley and executive produced by Ridley Scott himself. And it's going to be the first Alien story to be set on Earth. I gotta tell you, super excited for this. It's a good kind of, it's a funny kind of weird, but it's so weird seeing a Disney presentation and they talk about Alien.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ren. I'll say this though. I think the first season is gonna be pretty separate from everything that's ever happened in Alien, but I would not be shocked since Ridley Scott's working on it that it ties into if it ties into the Prometheus shit.
Oh yeah, for sure, I'm with you. National Geographic. All right, Disney Plus. So the Mighty Ducks new series. There's a Turner and Hooch series. I've never seen Turner and Hooch. A lot of Disney shows announcements don't really interest me. I'm with you.
It was all reboot, sequel, reboot, sequel, reboot, sequel.
Does this tie in on the original films? The Mighty Ducks show, I think so, or the Alien. You were probably talking about the Alien. One has got to think so, at least at some point, if not immediately. But as Zach said, I think it's going to be pretty separate, at least in the first season. All right, let's keep going. Turner and Hooch, starring Josh Peck. The Big Shot show. Did this one appeal to you, Zach? The one with John Stamos?
I don't care. I literally don't care about any of these.
Right. This one, I know nothing about, never heard about the books, but the Mysterious Benedict Societies looked really funny, quirky, and interesting. It even had a whimsical feel to it. How did you feel about that one? You didn't like it?
Okay. It's interesting. I'm being serious. Like during this whole part, I literally just was okay.
All right, that's fair enough. Hocus Pocus 2 was announced. Zach, you a fan of Hocus Pocus?
I like the original one, but I think this is gonna be shit.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, never.
You don't care to?
It's not big over here.
Okay.
It was never big over here.
How about you make it big over there?
No. Just no.
No?
No. Then for movies, original movies for Disney Plus, there's a modern take on the hilarious 80s comedy, Three Men and a Baby. The film will star Zac Efron is slated for 2022. I'm mildly interested, at least in seeing this one, because Zac Efron is on it, and I'm a big fan of Zac Efron.
I agree. Right there.
Then they talked about a movie that was coming out the next day, so it's already out. It's been out for like a week, called Safety. I'm glad they talked about it, because if they hadn't, I wouldn't even know this was out.
Did you watch it?
No.
Did you want to watch it?
I don't know. It's a sports movie, but it's a Disney sports movie. I'm not super big into those. Did you watch it?
No, I had a screener for it, and I totally forgot to. It just, kind of came and gone.
Then they announced Flora and Ulysses, a film that will see a cynical young comic book fan and a superpowered squirrel sidekick team up, and it's coming out on February 19th, 2021. This is one that is either going to be, this is really fun actually, or it's going to be exactly as it looked from that little teaser, which is not good at all. How are you feeling, Zach?
I don't care.
All right.
I'm going to tell you right now, the next 7 things, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about the Cheaper by the Dozen remake. I don't care about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't care about the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild is kind of intriguing because it is based on the best character out of those movies.
I agree, but still.
And Simon Pegg is coming back. So it's not something I'm eagerly awaiting, but it's something that when they said Ice Age, I was like, really? And then they mentioned who we would be following. But yeah, and an animated Night at the Museum TV show is also coming. I think these movies died with Robin Williams, but I like them all. I think a show could be interesting, but again, it's not something I'm like
Yeah,
super excited for.
I agree.
They talked a little bit about the live action movies for theaters as well, and
Some are
yes,
for theaters.
some. No, I'm saying they talked about the ones that were for theaters as well. Again, they were very specific about what was going to Disney Plus, what was going to theaters, and they confirmed that the Lion King, not sequel, the next Lion King live action movie is going to be a prequel. They said prequel of sorts. It's a prequel, and it's going to be helmed by Barry Jenkins with music from Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams for some reason, and Nicholas Brittle. I don't know who that is.
I'm only excited for this film because of Barry Jenkins.
I'm excited because I love The Lion King and I love Barry Jenkins. Then they announced the full cast for The Little Mermaid.
That we already knew.
Yeah. Hallie, do we know all of these?
Yes, every single one of them was at least rumored, but it's funny because if you go and look at a lot of the actors' tweets after the Investor Day, they're like, thank God I can finally talk about it.
Yeah, true.
Like Nia DaCosta was a big one for Captain Marvel too. She wasn't allowed to talk. David Diggs, stuff like that. But yeah, Little Mermaid, there.
Yeah. Halle Bailey as Ariel, David Diggs as Sebastian, which is a not choice, but I can see them
so perfect
changing the personality of the character a lot to fit this actor, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's great. Javier Bardem as King Triton. Jacob Tremblay is another weird choice for Flounder. Ursula Melissa McCarthy is sounds about right, and Prince Eric, played by Jonah Howard King, who I don't know who this is, and Aquafina playing the seagull Scuttle. Interesting cast.
Let me say, I don't know what it is about this movie, but I'm like really interested in it. And I like The Little Mermaid, but like I don't love it, but I'm interested in it. Like I'm not saying it's like my most anticipated for next year, but like I'm interested in it. Next year? Oh, it's not? Oh, 2022 then.
2022 for sure.
But still, I'm interested because
I am morbidly curious.
I want to see how they do it.
Yeah.
Under the sea, down
now,
where it's wetter.
There's a movie coming to Disney Plus, dude, in the spring of 2022. And as soon as they started talking about this, I was like, oh, come on. But then they said live action animation hybrid, and it's about cartoons becoming frustrated with CGI. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then they announced who's directing this. And it's pop stars Akiva Schaffer, also Lonely Island's Akiva Schaffer, starring the voices of John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. And Seth Rogen confirmed to make a cameo. And I was like, okay, this turned me around real quick. I am so excited for the Chip and Dale movie. Words I never thought I'd say. How about you, Zach?
When they announced this, I said this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Back because this was rumored a while ago.
Yeah.
Akiva, Andy, John, and Seth, take my money. Just take my money. I'm still iffy on how it's gonna be. The live action, the animation hybrid, but it's hard for me to look at this and be like, this is not the best that you could possibly do.
Yeah, for sure, man. I cannot wait for this. Then they announced something that you and Isaac talked about a few weeks ago, and that the rumors were true, that several Disney live action remakes are going directly into Disney Plus, and those were the ones that we talked about: Pinocchio, Peter and Wendy, and of course, Cruella with Emma Stone directed.
No, Cruella was announced for Disney Plus. I didn't think that was true.
Yes, it was. It was. They announced Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and then right after that, Cruella. Because it was the same guy. Because they had people for different things. So the guy who was presenting movies for Disney Plus announced Cruella as well. They also announced Disenchanted, the sequel to Enchanted, and confirmed Amy Adams is coming back. And finally, Sister Act 3, which I could hear the crickets. I could hear the crickets when they announced.
Yeah. Can we talk about Pinocchio real fast and Peter Pan?
We can, of course.
I'm interested in Pinocchio. I really am, but Zemeckis, you gotta do something else, dude. You gotta, please.
Don't do the
Peter
witches again.
Peter Pan and Wendy. I'm gonna say it right now. If it wasn't for David Lowery, I would give one fuck about this.
I'm not going to say I wouldn't give a fuck, but the fact
Dude,
that David Lowery,
man.
David
And do you
Lowery
like
is directing,
do you like
that's
Pete's Dragon?
I really like Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, same. And then Cruella, gotta be honest, didn't care for it at all. Anything I've ever
Until I told you who was directing.
directing. Yep. Even though like I was excited for Emma Stone, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I love Emma Stone. She'll be great in it, but movie wise, eh. And then you told me I, Tanya's director's doing it. I said, okay, I'm in for it.
All right, and now for animated shows coming to Disney Plus, they announced Baymax the series, Zootopia Plus, Tiana, following the character from Princess and the Frog, which they described as a short-form comedy musical, and then Moana, which they described as a long-form comedy musical. Zach, let's do something different here, but real quick, rank these 4 shows from most excited to least excited.
Moana, Tiana, Baymax, Zootopia. Now,
Ooh.
before I give you my reasoning, is because I love Big Hero 6. I love Zootopia, but I hate the concept of both those shows. Baymax seems cute, fun, and I'm gonna be really happy with it. But it seems like a Forky asked me questions. Everything they described it as, it felt like that. Zootopia Plus, it just seemed the same exact way. Let's follow side characters where you have the perfect fucking concept, guys. You got Baymax, Big Hero 6, they're superheroes. Why not have them fighting other teams and doing that stuff and being an actual continuation of the show? Now, if it actually is that, then I take it back. That's my most excited. But from the way they described it, the images, the videos they showed, it didn't seem that way. Zootopia Plus, though, you could have Judy and the Fox solving crimes. It could literally be NCIS for Disney Plus, and you have them following the sloth and all the other characters that I just don't care about. You know, like these are gonna be fun, but like Tiana seems better for me. Like I like that it's 2D animation. I like that it's gonna be touching on her character because I love Princess and the Frog. And Moana is actually like straight up a sequel to the original Moana show. The other ones just feel like short form. Yeah, they just feel like short form Disney Channel shows on a production scale of an actual Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm a little bit disappointed with that. That's just my personal opinion because I was so excited when they announced Baymax, and then they showed everything, and I'm like, I liked Forky ask questions. It was cute, but I wanted more. To be honest with you.
You do know there's already a big Hero 6 show.
Yes, but okay. I wanted a 3D, not 2D animated show that looks cheap.
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand. For me, number 1, Moana as well. Number 2, Baymax. Number 3, Zootopia. Number 4, Tiana. Only because, and I'm not saying I'm not excited for Tiana, only because if I go for the movies, The Princess and the Frog is the one I like the least. All the other 3 I adore to no end. Moana, as I described, long form comedy musical. I don't know if comedy musical would be my preference for Moana. I'd say an adventure musical, a drama musical, a dramedy, whatever, but not like comedy. So I hope.
Ren, you can't say drama, and then parents would be like, woof, woof.
I know, but an adventure musical. Just say that. The Baymax show, I really like the idea. I like the idea of Baymax fulfilling his primary function, and Zootopia, I just think it fits very well into the world, and I think it doesn't take away from them doing a sequel movie in the future, which I think doing that, the main idea that you said, would take away, and I feel the same way about Big Hero 6. Tiana is just the one that, the fact that they said it's short form, it just means it's something that I won't have to stick around with for long. So I don't know, maybe new information could come out and I change my mind. Now this, Zach, This is really interesting. Disney Animation and Pan-African entertainment company Kugali will team up to create an all-new science fiction series coming to Disney Plus in 2022, Yuwaju, which roughly translates to the future. The art looks now, of course, this is just primary art, just to give the creators an idea of what the look of the show is, but it looks sensational. How are you feeling about this one? Did this one pique your curiosity?
Piqued my curiosity, but every other person I talked to about this that isn't into our space asked why this looks like Black Panther.
I think that's fair.
And again, this is coming from people who aren't in our space. This is the general going people. Everyone who's in our space, I looked at that and said, that's awesome. That is awesome. And I can't wait to see what they do. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of wish it wasn't a series, though. I kind of wish it was a movie.
Really?
Coming to theaters, yes. Now, again, I don't know the story. I don't know anything, but I think this is something that would have been really cool to see on the big screen.
Yeah. I can see that.
Soul's not going to the big screen.
Yeah. Then Disney also gave us a little bit of an update on their 60th feature film, which is going to theaters. It's called Encanto, which means enchantment in Spanish, Portuguese, Italian. It's set in Colombia, where a magical family lives in a magical home, directed by Byron Howard and Jared Bush, co-directed and co-written by Charisse Castro-Smith, and music written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Zach, I'm super excited for this. I don't know anything about it, but I'm super excited. How about you?
Take my money.
Yes. In theaters.
The music, the score in the background of that.
Uh-huh.
You said sensational earlier. That was sensational.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Pixar, because they announced a lot. They talked about the docuseries Inside Pixar, which is now streaming and will have even more episodes coming in the next few months, which I haven't started seeing, but I'm interested. They announced Popcorn, a collection of mini shorts starring favorite Pixar characters, coming in January 2021, so just next month. And this one caught my interest. Doug Days, an up spin-off following the adventures of Doug the dog, who now lives in suburbia and has to face such challenges as puppies, fireworks, and squirrel. And they showed a clip of the show with Doug babysitting a lot of puppies, which I thought was really cute. How about you, Zach?
So the Popcorn shorts, real fast, that seems like a Forky thing as well, but it makes sense because that won an Emmy. Doug Days, great. Out of all the new shows they kind of announced, that's the thing that grabbed my attention from Pixar. Because the next one, the Cars one,
ugh.
Thank God it's not another movie,
Yeah.
Win or Lose, don't know much about it. But
dude, this show sounds incredible.
Yeah, it seems interesting. So again, need to see something from that.
Yeah.
What about Luca? What do you think about Luca?
I thought it looked beautiful. I cannot, and given what I just watched,
Call
from
me
Pixar,
by your name for Pixar films.
Do you think they'll have the balls for that?
No.
Because I definitely agree that it reminded me of that.
The first gay character ever in a Pixar film was from Onward, guys.
Oh, that's right. All right, and they announced that the director of the short Bao, Domi Shi, will direct Turning Red, which is coming to theaters in March 2022. It's about an introverted girl that is going through all the awkwardness of being a teenager.
I'm really excited for this.
But if she gets way too excited, like Zach is, she turns into a giant red panda, which is a really fun, interesting idea. Dude. And you know what Pixar does with fun, interesting ideas? They make them compelling, deep, give them meaning, and make you cry because of it. I
love this idea. And it got shortly passed over because of the next thing we're going to discuss, which is my favorite announcement of the whole entire show. If it wasn't for the Batman coming out in 2022, this would be my most anticipated film that year. Like
I
100%.
don't know if it's my number one of the entire like Investors Day, but it's certainly up there. It's top 5 for sure. But we'll get to it. Let's talk a little bit about Turning Red.
I think it looks adorable. I think it's cool that we're getting a coming of age film from Pixar because I don't think we've gotten one before. At least that's a straightforward coming of age film. And I think the concept is cute. It looks fun. And I think the Bao short is one of the best shorts they've done in a while. I cannot wait to see Turning Red. But Ren, we got to talk about the next one. I mean,
we got it. Just quick before we move on to the next one. GKOBP is asking, do you think will play the main character in Turning Red?
Let me look up the character real fast because I have no idea. Let's see. It's a redhead. Do you think they go with a redhead?
No, not. I mean, they might, but I wouldn't say they're looking for a redhead. Who?
Let's see.
Who did they go to?
Question.
I'm thinking. I'm looking at figures. All
right, I'm gonna say it just because I'm gonna say it. This only because an ad popped up for when I was looking up something, and I'm probably gonna be completely wrong. Rachel Brosnan.
Yeah, I could see it. I don't know
too.
if she can voice a child, but I can see it. All right, Zach.
That's actually true. Actually, you know what? They're gonna get a kid to play this. I think
that's true.
So I think it'll be an unknown, and then around.
Yeah.
Will be so.
All right, let's go to the next one for Pixar.
I got it. Can I let me do this one. So let me just say something, Ren. So as they're announcing everything, they did Lightyear, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, they're doing Buzz Lightyear Star Command. They're doing Buzz Lightyear Star Command as a full-fledged movie. And then they start talking about it a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, this is the definitive story of the original Buzz Lightyear. I'm sold. And I'm like, okay, so who's gonna play? Chris Evans? Oh my fucking god. Take my money. We don't know who's directing this though. We don't know who's directing this.
He mentioned it. It's one of the directors of Finding Dory, Angus MacLane, I think.
Okay, let me go see.
Angus MacLane.
And yeah, Angus MacLane. And it's written by Pete Docter.
Of course it is.
And Angus MacLane has worked on Toy Story 3, Up, WALL-E, Ratatouille. And as a director, he did Finding Dory, Toy Story of Terror, and Lightyear. So he's close with Toy Story. He's been with the company since Toy Story 2. Yeah.
And all the movies he's worked on that you mentioned, I love.
I agree. I mean, there's no amount of me that is not excited for this. This is my most anticipated thing that they announced.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know Chris Evans chose this character since it's not about the he didn't choose. They asked him to be in it. They contacted him. At first I was like, oh no, really Pixar? And then once I heard the premise, I got really same, man. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, they're doing Buzz Lightyear. And then they mentioned how Buzz himself, the toy, is based on someone within the world of Toy Story, and they're going to tell the story of that character. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, let's go into Marvel, because my God, we could do an entire show just about the Marvel stuff. They gave us a new trailer for WandaVision, which I didn't watch. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Big thumbs up.
All right, and Feige immediately segued into WandaVision will connect to Doctor Strange, and Liz Olsen is right now in London shooting this movie. It will release on March 25th, 2022, Zach, the day right after your birthday. And he also confirmed that Xochitl, I hope that's how we pronounce it, Gomez is playing America Chavez in the film, and that it will tie into both WandaVision and the next Spider-Man film, which they couldn't mention because it's a Sony film, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Then the Falcon and Winter Soldier gave us an awesome trailer. And they also announced the series is coming out on March 19th, 2021. Which I'm super excited for. What did you think of the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
WandaVision's trailer is great. Doctor Strange just give me it right now. Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer, I got hella Winter Soldier vibes. But surprisingly, it wasn't my favorite trailer that they showed.
Oh, mine neither. And I think we have the same favorite trailer.
Say yours.
I'm not gonna say it. We'll get to it.
Okay, but yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's coming right after. It's the next one.
Okay, then yeah, we're on the same page. My least anticipated show is now probably one of my most.
Ladies and gentlemen, Loki gave us a trailer.
It looks incredible. It looks like a fucking crime thriller. Like it literally.
It looks like fantasy James Bond. That's what
literally.
It looks like.
And when this show was announced, I felt, it's probably gonna be him going to different worlds, and it literally looks. This film's gonna tie in heavily, and then obviously things have already kind of came out that there will be multiple Lokis in the show, multiple Kang the Conquerors.
Yeah, we got our first look at Owen Wilson. We got lots of curious shots.
You remember that rumor of Owen Wilson playing Kang?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still true, but I don't think he's the main Kang. I think the main Kang will be Jonathan Majors.
You're right. It could be.
And I think Jonathan Majors shows up at the end of this.
Yeah, but oh my god, this trailer! I was like, I'm not like you. This wasn't the show I'm like least excited about, but this was one I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for Loki because it's an MCU thing, so I'm always going to be excited. But when I watch this trailer, I'm like, I need this show immediately, dude. They didn't announce a date. Oh, they did announce a date. It's coming in May 2021, so the same month as Black Widow, after Falcon and Winter Soldier. 3 shows, Zach. 3 shows, MCU shows in 2021.
Which one? When's Loki coming?
May 2021.
Oh, shit.
So it starts with WandaVision, then we get Falcon and Winter Soldier, then Black Widow, and then Loki. Because I'm sure Loki's coming out after Black Widow, because Black Widow comes out the first weekend of May.
Dude, that's crazy. So January, so think about this. So January, we're getting 6 episodes of WandaVision.
Yeah.
So that'll push us through to March. Then we'll probably get 1 week off, then Winter Soldier and Falcon. Mm-hmm. That's 6 more episodes. That's smart, man. That's smart. Yeah. So I wonder, because What If is coming out during the summer, correct?
Yes. We'll get to it, but I believe...
Do you think Bad Batch... No, the Bad Batch is for next year. Do you think the Bad Batch is after What If, or do you think it's in between these?
I think it's after Falcon and Winter Soldier, before Loki.
Okay.
But it comes out on different days, so it might come out the same time as Winter Soldier. Then we got another trailer for What If, which, Zach, it continues to be my most anticipated show out of all these. I love what we saw. I love all the scenarios, and reinforced my theory and belief that I share with you several times that this first season will be really fun, be very interesting with the scenarios they present, but they're going to go weird in the second season. That's when they're going to go full throttle, I believe, and this trailer made me believe that. Super excited for it, still cannot wait.
I need more. I like the trailer, but I need more.
Okay. All right. Then we got Ms. Marvel updates, including confirmation of Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. We got a really cool sizzle about backstage interviews, and we got a little glimpse of the Zoom call where they announced she was cast. They confirmed that Ms. Marvel will be in Captain Marvel 2, as well as adult Monica Rambeau, which will also be in WandaVision. Any of these updates, these news on the Ms. Marvel thing jump out to you?
I like the sizzle. I like the sizzle reel.
All right.
That was cool.
We also got confirmation that Haley Steinfeld is Kate Bishop, which we saw for the photos that leaked online. Confirmation that Tatiana Maslany will be playing Jen Walters, aka She-Hulk, in She-Hulk, but also confirmation that Mark Ruffalo will return as the Hulk, not Bruce Banner, the Hulk in She-Hulk, and also Tim Roth as Abomination. I always knew it, Zach. I always knew it. They're gonna
Yeah.
bring him back somehow, some way,
Yep.
somewhen.
Yep.
Um,
Can I tell you something?
here he is. Go ahead.
I think we get Red Hulk as well.
I hope not.
I would bet money I think we get Red Hulk. Maybe by the end of the season. Like the very last episode, he turns into Red Hulk.
Maybe. Maybe I can see it. But Zach, there's one thing I think fits perfectly. That I think something fits perfectly into a show about a superhero lawyer who specializes in superhero cases.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Spider-Man.
Mutants.
Oh, why do you say that?
Oh, because they're ostracized by society all the time.
Oh.
That's the bread and butter of the X-Men comics.
The only thing with that though is I'm still waiting. You can't just say, "Hey, they're in the world."
Oh yeah, for sure, and I hope they do that. All right, let's go into not completely new things. One of these things we knew about. Moon Knight was given a little update. They didn't talk about Oscar Isaac. They didn't talk about the showrunner, but they did say that Moon Knight is going to be an Indiana Jones type adventure with Egyptian iconography, which is really interesting to me.
It is.
Then we got several shows that were new. Secret Invasion is a show that will see Samuel L. Jackson return as Nick Fury along with Ben Mendelsohn as the Skrull Talos, and we will follow a sect of Skrulls that have infiltrated all sections of Earth society, which sounds really interesting to me. Then we got an Ironheart series starring Dominic Thorne as Riri Williams. Then we got the announcement of Armor War starring Don Cheadle as James Rhodes /
Which I'm calling right now. Rockwell's going to be the villain for that.
Ooh, that's interesting. Which will explore the classic Marvel story about what happens when Tony Stark's tech falls into the wrong hands. And then James Gunn will return to write and direct the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And the special will be shot with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and is set to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022, the Christmas before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out in theaters. And also I Am Groot, a series of shorts featuring Baby Groot, as well as several new and unusual characters, is coming to Disney Plus as well. Give us some quick thoughts on these new shows, Zach.
So Moon Knight, I mean, that's my most anticipated. Secret Invasion. Daniel RPK on Twitter tweeted out and said this is going to be an Avengers level Disney series. And that's why it doesn't say anything else. So I'm going to tell you right now, I think we see the full Avenger, like the new quote unquote Avengers team in this show.
All right.
Ironheart was not expecting that. Wasn't even expecting a casting, but that makes me think we'll see Dominique Thorne in something else very soon. In popping up and whatever. Armor Wars, awesome. James Gunn writing and directing the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Take my money, and this just shows that we are getting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in 2023. And then he talked a bit about Blade, but it was announced the day after that Blade is coming before Captain Marvel 2. In between that and Black Panther, which we haven't even talked about. Did they? Where's okay?
It's got to be after.
No, it's not in the article. So officially, Chadwick Boseman will not be recasted, which is insane. That Ryan Coogler has to rewrite the whole script, pretty much. I would assume so. So that's wild. But yeah, very interested. Very interested.
Yeah. I'm curious about Secret Invasion because it's something I think they should do a movie about. Maybe it should be an Endgame / Infinity War type of double feature. Ironheart, I've said my piece on Ironheart. I'm not a fan of the idea of the character, of the concept of the character. Maybe she works in the MCU for me.
They're setting up the fucking Young Avengers.
Yeah, but she didn't work in the comics, so I'm not
I
excited.
gotta ask you, do you think Spider-Man's the leader of that?
No,
You don't?
no.
Who is?
I don't know, but I think in the MCU, it's fucking idiotic to have a team of kids just by themselves. So I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Armor Wars, I'm definitely interested in. I'm happy to see Don Cheadle get his own show. James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, it just fits. It just fits. If it sucks, this was already a comedy to begin with, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna hurt it too much. I Am Groot might be fun. It's something that I'll casually put on if I'm not doing anything else. Christian Bale is revealed, confirmed to be Gore the God Butcher. And I gotta say to this, I told you all. I told you all. This, I told you as soon as it was announced for Thor, he's playing Gore the God Butcher. In fact, to be fair, I said he's either playing Gore the God Butcher or the brother of Odin. And I bet on Gore the God Butcher. So you heard it here first, man.
So I gotta ask you, is he fully CGI'd? How do you think they're gonna do this?
He's wearing a prosthetic suit enhanced with CGI. It's Christian Bale, man. I gotta believe they don't do him fully CGI, or maybe he looks human and he's decaying throughout the film, which I think would be really interesting to go that way as a character. Even though he is an alien in the comics, he comes from an alien planet. But super excited for this, man. Super excited.
Me too.
Then they announced the official title for Ant-Man 3, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. My pitch is coming through, everyone. I didn't call it Quantum Mania, but I said the quantum realm was going to be big. It is going to be big. And they also confirmed that Jonathan Majors is joining the cast as Kang the Conqueror, and Catherine Newton is coming in as Paul Rudd's character, as Paul Rudd's daughter,
Great casting,
Cassie Lang. Great casting. Super excited for this. I'm telling you, man. And
what do you
according
think
to
about the recasting problems? How they didn't tell the original actress?
not a fan of that. They should have told the actress beforehand. But you know, I mean, it happens.
I'm just happy
not,
Majors is officially confirmed.
Yeah, same.
So, do you think MODOK's in this? Or do you think Kang's the main villain?
I hope it's not, because Jesus, imagine Ant-Man and the Wasp by themselves beating Kang the Conqueror. I think Kang the Conqueror.
I think Kang's gonna be the next Avengers level villain.
Yes, I'm with you. That's why I can't see Ant-Man and the Wasp beating Kang.
So, my last question for you: do we get the Fantastic Four in this?
Yes, because Marvel watched our episode, Zach. They watched.
No, I'm being serious. No, I'm being serious. Do you think we get them in this? Is this the first place we see the Fantastic Four?
It's the first place they are mentioned in. I'll say that. Because Hank Pym is going to be a friend of Reed's from back in the 60s. Then we're going to find out they're trapped in the quantum realm, which is the MCU's negative zone. They're going to come back, boom, into the current present day. And they're going to be like, oh, what the hell is happening? This is not the 1960s anymore. And that is why I didn't agree with you that the Lightyear thing was my most exciting thing about this entire presentation. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Fantastic Four, the first family, is coming back to Marvel. And it's going to be directed. Yeah, and it's going to be directed by John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man movies, and it's directing the third Spider-Man movie. So, whatever you think about the Spider-Man movies, they belong to Sony, they belong to Disney. He's full on an MCU director now.
Well, and that's the thing. He's working for Marvel now.
Yeah.
Not Sony. And that's where I think a lot of us need to take that into perspective. And I want to put this out there in the world, because I've talked with a couple people, and this is now my thoughts. You know, they obviously want to do another Spider-Man trilogy right after this next one, probably setting place in college. Why wouldn't you get him to come back? Mm-hmm. I believe the next Spider-Man film is an actual Spider-Verse, and I think Sam Raimi's going to direct it.
Interesting.
And I also think Kevin Feige saw Watts and went, Spider-Man 3, he's balancing these characters really well. Let's give him Fantastic Four.
I would be more excited, not if I had seen Spider-Man 3 at this point, but if the movie was done and they had seen Spider-Man 3. I gotta believe that, like you, Kevin Feige is looking at the script and he's like, oh, he's got some great ideas, but I would like to have known that, okay, Kevin Feige and the people at Marvel and Sony have seen the movie, and now they have chosen John Watts.
Yeah, but again, I trust Feige, man. The guy
I
has
agree with
not missed.
I agree with
not. You know, and honestly, the more and more I hear about Spider-Man 3, dude, the more and more I get excited about it. I
get more and more fearful.
I don't. Again, I've told you, if it was Sony making the damn thing, I would be, oh my god. But since Kevin Feige's hands are in it, I gotta imagine it's at least good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Prove me wrong, Marvel. Prove me wrong, Feige. Prove me wrong, Sony. All right, everyone. We're going to go back to the top on the chat. We're going to start answering your live questions. We got about 25 minutes to go, so start throwing them in if you haven't yet. And let's start with SPC Bird, who asks, do you guys think Rogue Squadron is going to be as epic as Rogue One, or maybe even tie into it somehow? I'm not going to say like no, 100% they won't do that, but I don't see the necessity. Like we were discussing when it would take place, but right now we're not sure. If it takes place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, but it takes place more closely to Revenge, I would say yes, there's a chance. But if my first theory is correct and it's more aligned with A New Hope, I don't think so. How about you, Zach?
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. I just want them to keep it separate.
Yeah, I'm with you. Can you rank the 5 new MCU shows announced from least to most anticipated?
The new one.
The new
ones.
So yes,
so
the new ones.
Secret Invasion, Ironheart,
which I Am Groot, I guess, was another one. And which other one?
Miss Marvel, I guess. I don't know, because you can't. Those other ones were already announced.
Yeah, the other ones are already announced.
So let's just do these 4 down here. Let's just do Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, and let's just do those 3.
Okay.
Those are pretty much.
Do you want to go first, or I go first?
You can go.
Okay, so for me, Armor Wars is number 1. Secret Invasion is number 2. Ironheart is number 3, and I Am Groot is number 4.
So my number 1 is Secret Invasion, 2 is Armor Wars, 3 is Ironheart, 4 is I Am Groot.
All right. We're not talking about the Mandalorian finale. We'll end with fluff. Okay, I don't think we have any questions here. Any predictions for the Taika project? No.
Taika is crazy. That logo, though.
Taika is just impossible to predict, man. I have no idea what he might, because they didn't say anything. We don't know when it's taking place. We don't know what type of movie it is. Like, is it a Jedi movie?
I think it's old. Like even before prequels.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I would even go as far as say I think it's going to be maybe in between High Republic and the prequels.
All right.
And I don't think it's Jedi that they're doing. I think there will be a Jedi in it. Wait. I'm gonna take this back. I think it takes place right before the original trilogy or after. Because I think that's where Taika's most inspired by. Okay. And I think it's a brand new group of characters. I don't think there's going to be any returning characters. Maybe 1 or 2, not big characters. And 1 Jedi who, kind of hiding his powers.
All
That's my
right.
guess. That's my guess.
Let's stop the share screen. There was this. Okay, here it is. Is Pixar's new trend using Marvel actors in their movies? First Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, now in Onward, now Chris Evans in Lightyear. Could be, could be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they did that. Then he goes on to say, I would not be surprised if they picked Brie Larson for Turning Red, which is a really good choice, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really
actually,
like
yeah.
it. All right, let's move on. What else? What else? What else? The Brie Larson, because we didn't talk about it. It's time you put it on. What is your favorite film announced in Disney? In Disney, ooh. I don't know, man. For the movie,
Encanto. I guess Encanto.
yeah, I guess Encanto. It's either that or the Lion King prequel. Thoughts on Lucasfilm not announcing the Ryan Justice trilogy? Do you guys think it's still happening? I wasn't surprised that they didn't say anything about it. More and more, I'm believing it won't happen, but at this point, I'm still not saying zero. I'm still not saying there's a 0% chance. I still believe it could. I just don't think it's likely. How about you, Zach?
I don't think it'll be a trilogy anymore. If we do get it, it'll go on Disney Plus as a show. And I say that because there's less of a risk if it's on there.
All right. Jacoby P, what do you think about people complaining about John Watts directing Fantastic Four because they don't think he has a distinct visual style based on his 2 Spider-Man films? Look, when they announced John Watts is directing Fantastic Four, I'm like, okay, odd choice. But as I just said, if they had announced this and we knew like that Marvel and Sony and all the executives had seen Spider-Man 3, I'd be like, this is a really good sign. This is a really, really good sign.
It still is a really good sign, though, that Feige picked him.
It is.
Because you have Peyton Reed, which apparently is one of the biggest Fantastic Four fans in the world. You have all these other directors that they could have easily chosen from. I imagine they had the meetings, and whatever John Watts said in that meeting was what Kevin Feige liked the most. Now, the distinct visual directing style, let me say this. All these films look and feel the same, and that's my one issue with a majority of the MCU films. So I can't say a distinct visual directing style, because have you guys ever seen John Watts' original film Cop Car, which is actually pretty good? I liked it. And I think,
I think
for me,
Spider-Man movies are better.
Oh, 100% his Spider-Man films are better, but that's my thing.
Yeah, but again, I'm kind of with you. I think they do have a distinct visual style, but I do think it's more of a Spider-Man visual style rather than a John Watts visual style. So yeah, Dominican Scott, would you like? Oh, what the hell? Would you like it if Daisy Ridley stars in Patty Jenkins in Star Wars movie?
No sense.
She's Rey. She can't be another character in Star Wars, and Rey can't be on the Rogue Squadron movie. It wouldn't make sense.
Unless it's taking place after.
True. Do you think in years people will say New Mutants is underrated? They're already saying it. I'm saying it already right now. But yeah, I think people will say that because it is underrated.
Huh?
How about you, Zach?
Like New Mutants?
Yeah.
Like the movie?
Yes.
No.
You don't think people will say it's underrated?
No.
People already say it's underrated.
Yeah, so is my asshole.
No, it's not. Your asshole is overrated.
Nah. You know what movie's underrated? The Wolverine.
Yeah, I like the Wolverine more than most people. Which of these upcoming Star Wars projects will be more like the Old Republic?
The High Republic one, the Acolyte.
Yeah, probably.
I'm curious. I gotta imagine they're working on something. It's like that is their Game of Thrones right there, man.
There was a rumor of a High Republic animated show, a few weeks ago. That I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I still think that's happening. I think everything that's ever been rumored from those sites that we go from usually end up turning out to be true.
That's true. Austin Bird, am I the only one who isn't too excited for Black Widow or WandaVision? No, I know a lot of people there aren't too excited. I'd say actually it's a pretty maybe a 60-40 thing. 60% of people are excited, 40% of people aren't that into it. I just saw someone here on the chat, I can't remember who it was, saying I'm not super into WandaVision. So you're not alone, man. How do you think they will incorporate the X-Men in the MCU? They could start with She-Hulk, man. They could start with She-Hulk. Diminishing Scott, is Black Widow going to theaters after all? Yes. Kevin Feige, again, the entire presentation, they were always very specific about what was going.
Could change though.
Yes.
We'll always say that. We didn't mention Ryan the Last Dragon will be going to Disney Premiere Access.
Yes.
I don't love that choice. I don't love that choice. Don't love it, but whatever, you know.
I don't love it either, but the fact that you're doing the Premiere Access thing is really smart because it is going to theaters. So it's creating
more shows that Mulan didn't do that bad in their eyes. They saw some glimmer of hope.
No, but Mulan in the States just went to Disney. I think the fact that they're releasing it in theaters with Premiere Access is really it's a bit of smartness within the stupidity. Because like you, I don't like this. I don't like this. But it's a little bit of a bright spot amidst all the shit. Austin Bird, who could you see directing a Logan style film within the MCU? Nobody, because they're not going to make a Logan style movie. Because it doesn't fit in the MCU. Like, I love Logan. I love Logan more than most MCU movies, even though I love the MCU. But I don't think they would ever do a Logan. Maybe if you're asking a Western movie, maybe I could see it, and that could be also who could I do a Western about? Blade could be a Western. I know that sounds weird, but Blade could be a Western.
Moon Knight.
But Moon Knight is a show.
Oh, well, it could be a movie.
Maybe after the show to close out the series.
The Illuminati show, or what's the Moon Knight and Blade team up thing? Is that the Illuminati or no? It's
no.
What's the other thing when they team up? There's like a certain thing they're called.
I don't know.
Let me look it up while we're doing this.
All right.
Go to the next question. I'll look it up.
Jico EP, what do you think about them not recasting Chadwick Boseman? Because I've seen people dividing this decision, saying they don't want them to kill the character. To address the second part of the question, I think whatever they did, whatever they had announced, it was going to be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. They were in a no-win position. I personally think they should have recast. You guys know this. You guys know I think they should have recast because I think the character is too important not to continue with his legacy, and Chadwick to proverbially pass the baton to someone else. But I'm curious because they said we're not going to do a CGI double, and now they just said we're not recasting the T'Challa role. So I'm really like, so what are you doing? Because the only thing they said in their presentation there was, here's what we're not doing, instead of here's what we are doing. So it just felt odd. How about you, Zach? How are you feeling about this? Oh, I missed a question.
I'm going to be honest. I think I know what they're going to do.
You want to share with us?
They're going to write in how he passed away into the movie. They're going to pass him with
I mean, yeah.
I think that's the most logical thing. I think the film opens up with that.
I'm kind of... I don't know if that works because
it doesn't, but I think
just don't buy Wakanda not having the technology and medical equipment to save somebody for cancer, and I just think it's just too real to put it into the movie.
Yeah, but I think that's what they're gonna do.
Are you going to watch the final season of Attack on Titan?
No.
Me neither. I gave up after season 1. I started reading a manga. I got to a chapter number something, and it was awful, and I gave up on the show. Jico EP, do you think maybe Kevin Feige was hinting at Daredevil being in She-Hulk? Honestly, no. Keep this clip of me saying I don't think so. So when She-Hulk comes out, and if he's in it, you throw this in my face, and I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I didn't see that. Did you see that, Zach?
No.
All right. Austin Bird, if you could recommend any film out of these, which one would you pick? Dune,
Can I be honest,
Willow?
real fast, going back to the other one? If you want me to be honest with a character I could see showing up in She-Hulk is Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
That's who I could see.
Austin Bird, if you could recommend any out of these films, which one did you pick? Dune, I haven't seen Dune. Willow, also haven't seen. Blade Runner or Space 2001: A Space Odyssey. Blade Runner for sure. How about you, Zach? I haven't seen two of these between the other two.
Two of these either. So I'm gonna say Blade Runner, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it.
How dare you? But ask us again in next October, and we will have seen Dune by then. When Zach said MCU on a direction level feels the same, I wouldn't say that about Guardians of the Galaxy. For me, those films visually stand out. What do you say to that, Zach?
Yeah, but it still feels like the same universe. Because then you can say the same thing about Doctor Strange. You can say the same thing about Ant-Man and Wasp. I love Guardians,
though. We've seen characters recast when the original actor died. Look at Harry Potter with Dumbledore. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I think they should recast Chadwick. 1,000,000% they should recast. Not in this case, it wouldn't be. I mean, it would be a recast, but on a technical level, they have to have someone for the role. Speaking of having someone, Zach, we're waiting. You and I are waiting on answers for a certain film festival happening earlier next year. We still haven't got the answers. It should be today. It's the 18th.
Can I say something though?
Yeah,
the lineup didn't knock me on my ass, man.
It didn't.
No, there was like 10 films that I was like, that's great. But that's the best thing about Sundance. Because 9 Days wasn't in my radar whatsoever. And then I saw it and I loved it. Same thing with The Father. Same thing with... You know what I mean? So, like, that's how I feel.
All right.
I think people were expecting, like, a Green Knight to show up there, but...
That feels more South by Southwest movie.
Yeah, and that's where it was supposed to premiere at.
Yeah.
Will it still premiere there? I'm gonna say no. I don't think it premieres at a film festival.
Me neither.
They're really holding to that theater thing.
For sure. What is What If gonna do to the MCU? Nothing. It's just a hypothetical scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it won't affect the movie at all. If anything, it's gonna raise interest, maybe, of people to see. Oh, I want to see that version of the MCU, where T'Challa is Star-Lord and Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum. If anything, that's what it's going to do. What's one hope for Spider-Man 3? What's your one hope for Spider-Man 3? For me, I hope it's still Tom Holland's story similar to Spider-Verse, where it has a lot of Spider-Man characters, but it was still Miles. That I honestly have no doubt they're focusing on him. I have no doubt it's Tom Holland's story. I just feel that even though it is his story, it feels too busy.
Yeah. Also, shout out Maria Balkova from Borat's subsequent movie film, won Best Supporting Actress at the New York Film Critics Society.
Oh, nice!
That's big. That's big.
I just voted for her for something. Not voted for her. I nominated her for something.
Okay.
Along with 4 other actresses for Best Supporting Actress. My one hope. I hope we open the doors for a Spider-Gwen movie. Emma Stone in the MCU as Spider-Gwen. A different version of Gwen Stacy, but still. What was I going to say? But still, Emma Stone plays her. That was I was going to say. SPC Bird, Ren. I think Andy will love Star Wars Vision the most besides Mando. Yeah, I can see that. Andy is a big fan of anime, so for sure. Can you give theories on the new Cobra Kai trailer? Zach, take it away.
I don't have any theories. I don't have any theories. Sorry, but I'm super excited for this show.
He doesn't think it will happen with Spider-Gwen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna close this out because I need to fix the problems with my Mandalorian review for you guys to watch.
The bullshit
problem. The bullshit problem that makes no sense of my Mandalorian season finale review, as well as I gotta watch Ma Rainey's Black Bottom because Netflix didn't want to give me a screener for some reason, even though they just gave me one on the same day for Midnight Sky.
Did
which
you
comes
like
out
Midnight
next
Sky?
week. No. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay,
it's
so I started it, but I didn't like. I liked the first 30 minutes that I watched, but I was really tired, so I stopped.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a movie you should watch when you're tired.
No, but I liked it so far.
Okay, I'll tell you, it's a beautiful looking disposable movie.
Okay, because it seems like it's all over the radar. Some people really like it, some people don't like it. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
I heard before I reviewed it, and yeah, it's coming out on December 23rd, next Wednesday. My review is already up. I'm going to take care of the Mandalorian review for you guys to watch, and I'm going to be watching Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and that review is coming out later today. Zach, thank you so much again for joining me for another episode. Where can people find you online?
You guys can find me at Zach Pope Review, Zach Pope, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking Star Wars as much as I possibly can. I'm just going to go watch that Mandalorian episode 30 times today, probably. I was going to do another video, but I'm so pissed at YouTube right now, so I don't feel like making any more today. I really am going to take the next couple of days off. I am not burnt out per se, but I'm very tired. The end of the year kicked my ass. And I still have like 15 videos to make before the 31st. So got to do those, you know.
You got less than 15 days.
I do. So I'm excited to do that and head into January with an unknown territory still. The only thing I know that I'm reviewing in January is WandaVision. So it's going to be interesting, man. But I'm sad that The Mandalorian's over. I really am. I'm sad that we have to wait a whole another year. For the thing that was announced today, we're not going to talk about it because it's kind of a spoiler, but you know, there's a spinoff show they're making that's coming out next year. It is not The Mandalorian season 3, so please stop saying that. It's
two separate shows that coexist, like the CSIs and the Chicago series.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, you know, I'm excited. I hope all of you guys have a happy or a Merry Christmas as well. If you celebrate that, if you don't, I hope you guys just have a happy holidays, because I don't think we're doing one next week.
No, I asked Zach if he wanted to do on Wednesday. He works on Wednesday, so we decided let's take Christmas Eve off, because if we did a show next week, it would be Christmas Eve. But I'll tell you what, nobody's going out for New Year's this year, so Zach and I will be doing a show on New Year's Eve, and we'll be.
Oh, is New Year's Eve on a Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, then I should have it off. Hopefully. We'll see.
Hopefully.
You know, I know I have New Year's Day off, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see about New Year's Eve.
Whether New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, we'll do an episode then, and it will be an all Q&A episode. Ask us about the channel, about ourselves, what we got planned for the new year.
What if they drop the Spider-Man trailer?
We'll do a show about that, of course, Zach, but mostly a Q&A episode. That's what I meant.
No, I get it.
But I have something cool to announce, a new series of videos coming to the channel. I don't know how frequent they could be, but it depends on you guys watching, on you guys commenting, because those videos can't exist without your voting process. So I will announce that on the New Year's Eve or New Year's Day episode of Geeks at Roundtable. So till then, everyone, stay tuned for all the videos coming to both our channels. The links are in the description for all our social medias. Till the next one, love each other, love the movies, and Merry Christmas.